Hello, can you help me? I am writing a grant application and I need some information on how to do a cost-benefit study.
Do you mean an economic evaluation? Why do you need it? Are you concerned about the cost of a particular technology?
No, not really. The granting agency said that if I include a cost-benefit study, I will have a better chance of getting funded.
Oh, I see. Please tell me more about your research study.
I am studying a novel treatment for a very common disorder, headache.
What are the comparison groups?
I will be comparing aspirin 3 times a day to a new intervention.
What is the new intervention?
The new intervention involves whole genome sequencing followed by molecular biomarker assessment to create a diagnostic profile to ascertain the risk of headache that can be customized for individual patients. Once the profile is developed, the patient will receive full-body MRI under varying environmental conditions to examine gene-environment interaction and determine their specific headache triggers.
I see. Then, after you have all this information, how do you treat the headache?
With aspirin.
So what is the point of the intervention if the treatment is the same?
With this intervention, a patient will know what their triggers are at a genetic and a molecular level. They can start treatment sooner. The information can be kept in the patient's chart. It will revolutionize the practice of medicine.
So you will compare whole genome sequencing followed by molecular biomarker assessment plus MRI plus treatment with aspirin versus aspirin alone.
Yes.
Well, to design an economic evaluation, I will need to ask you some questions.
Okay.
What type of analytic technique will you employ? Will you do a cost-effectiveness analysis, a cost-utility analysis, or a cost-benefit analysis?
Yes.
I need to understand how health outcomes will be measured. How will you know if your intervention is effective?
Oh, I will look at how long the headache lasts, how many hours.
Okay, so you will look at costs per hour of pain averted. Are there any other important outcomes? Do you care about quality of life?
Yes, very much. I try to make time for the theatre.
No, I mean, is quality of life an important outcome for this study? Are you interested in your patients' preferences regarding how they feel physically and emotionally?
I guess so.
Okay, that gives us another type of analysis. By including a preference-based quality of life measure, we can compare your study results to other health economic evaluations that study very different interventions in other patient groups. Another thing I need to know is the study perspective. Whose costs are you concerned with?
Mine.
No, I mean, from what payer perspective will you conduct the analysis?
Oh, I don't know. It's usually the patient who buys their own aspirin.
Yes, but who is expected to pay for the whole genome sequencing, the molecular profiling and the MRI?
I haven't really thought about it. I guess the healthcare system.
Really? The healthcare system tries to run on a fixed budget. That means they may have to stop paying for some other services in order to pay for this.
That's fine with me.
Are there other costs besides healthcare costs related to use of this intervention?
Like what?
For example, will patients have to miss work to undergo all this testing?
Don't know. Did I mention the grant is due tomorrow?
Let's assume that patients will miss work. So the payer perspective we choose will have to be very broad.
So can you provide me with the information for my grant?
There are still more things I need to know.
Like what?
What is the time horizon?
The time horizon?
How long will the patients be followed?
Until my grant money runs out.
No. For how long do you need to study the costs and health consequences for each patient? At what time points will you measure the outcomes?
Oh, I haven't thought about it.
I also need to know more about the data collection. Is this a randomized controlled trial, or will we have to model some of the data using inputs collected from other sources?
Model?
If you are not planning to collect all the cost and outcomes data prospectively, We may need to create a decision model and conduct a probabilistic analysis using Monte Carlo simulations to test the effects of uncertainty in the parameter estimates on the incremental ratios.
Did I mention my grant is due tomorrow?
You need to tell me how you wish the results reported. Would you like to plot the incremental costs against some monetary threshold of willingness to pay in order to determine net health benefit? Do you want to include a cost-effectiveness acceptability curve?
Would you like to be a co-investigator?
There are many questions that need to be answered to properly design an economic evaluation.
Fine. I will pay you 1/10 of one full-time equivalent. Can you send me something by 5 p.m.?
I need more information and more time to design this.
You can be second author on all publications.
Please go away. You are giving me a headache.